Incoming transmission.
Picture this. A recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. It's the 10th of January, and that's enough Vince McMahon impressions for one day. Anyway, welcome to the Retro Revival Show, and today, as promised, I'm going to be looking at the WWF Royal Rumble game. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this, because we did quite a lot on the WrestleMania, but you can see here new options there, Triple Tag Team and Royal Rumble. You've got your 1-4 Brawl tournament and all that stuff. We're going to ramp the difficulty down, just so you guys can have a good look at the game. Just so you know, if you put the difficulty on stupidly hard, you literally are going to get stupidly hard. There's no sort of in-between with this game. It's either too easy or too difficult, but yeah, it's up to you. Personal preference. But just to show you the game, I'm going to choose Mr. Perfect, because, well, why not? And we're going to go against, I don't know, let's see. Oh, this is another feature of the game, by the way. You can now choose your opponent, whereas before the CPU did it for you, and you had no choice over it, really. But so here we go. So we've got new wrestlers, Crush, Ric Flair, and all that stuff. So we've got lots of different wrestlers this time. Razor Ramon added to the mix, Yokozuna, Lex Luger, Ted DiBiase making a triumphant return, Randy Savage back for another round also. And there's quite a good selection, to be fair. But the actual gameplay, if I remember right, I've actually got all three of these games. As you can tell. Why did I say that? And you can see that the graphics haven't really improved that much. You can tell who people are supposed to be a bit better, I think, this time. Ric Flair with his white hair. Now, this time they've made use of the shoulder buttons, which is a really good addition. So the body slam makes a return. I think the suplex is in there. Headbutt's still there. But they've made use of the two shoulder buttons as well. So you've got two extra attacks you can use. One of them is a rib breaker, I think, and the other one... there you go, atomic drop, that's right. Which you're going to need for some of the finishing manoeuvres. Yes, they put signature moves in the game! Why they didn't do that the first time round, I'll never know. But if you like Crush, for example, to do his finishing move, you will need to stun them. And the way you do that is to atomic drop them when their health is low. And then you do your cranial crush. Now, the way you do finishing moves on this one is you wait till they got into the red with their health, and then you hammer the shoulder button, the right-hand shoulder button, and they'll perform their signature maneuver. The other thing about this one, which is a major criticism I had on the other game, was that you can now roll off your opponent. You can pin them, roll off them, pin them, roll off them as many times as you like. Oh, look, Rick is smart. He doesn't want to be hit by a chair. I was kind of wafting him and fanning him. Actually quite hard to hit them with the chair. You've got to sort of time it right. So you can ram them into the turnbuckle still. I think the one... Here we go. Perfect Plex finishing move. But the weird thing is, that should be a pin. The only way you can pin them is to actually pin them, which is really strange. It's like Bret Hart's sharpshooter. It's a submission move, but you still got to pin them. Bit strange. But I don't know the ins and outs of the programming. I don't know whether it is possible. Howard Finkel coming into the ring. Why the ring announcer is actually putting my arms up there, I don't know. Surely that should be down to the referee, but never mind. So you get this nice little thing there, you get rematched, and then you get back to the options. Quite simple. 2 players again. I think you can have 4 players in this game. Well, let's choose the Undertaker and do a Royal Rumble, because it's a bit of a laugh. Alright, so the object of a Royal Rumble, if you're not familiar with wrestling, is to basically eliminate your opponent by throwing them over the top rope. So both feet hit the floor. Now we're going to see here how many wrestlers this game can take in one go. I think it's 6, which isn't that bad actually if you consider there's 5 of us in the ring at the moment. So the 2 ways you can do this. One is to get all your opponent's health down. Now the difficulty here is that you can't see your opponent's health bar this time round. The only way you can tell if they're ready to be thrown out is the grapple meter will start flashing green. Now, Bret Hart there just eliminated somebody. Now, the way you can do that is to whip them across the ring and then do a hip toss right next to the ropes, and you'll eliminate them no matter what their health is. A little bit of a tip for you there, if you're actually going to play this game and have a Royal Rumble. So yeah, I mean, graphically, I think it's a little bit better than WrestleMania. The crowd is still fairly static. The commentators are going mad in the background. I think it's Bobby Heenan and Vince McMahon. And that's great. They sort of hold their heads in despair and stuff like that. That's quite nice. But I don't think there's actually any relevance to what's going on in the ring at the time. So it's basically they'll just keep doing that in the background. But nice to see there. You got Tatanka there with the red hair, and you got the sort of cow Indian boots on with the tassels, which is really, really cool. So there is attention to detail being paid on here, which is really nice. As I say, finishing manoeuvres are in check here, which is great. It just makes it that little bit more exciting. And I bought this game when it first came out, despite the fact that I bought WrestleMania. This game was a vast improvement. I've got to say, the gameplay. There we go, tombstone on Tatanka, and he's done. So all we need to do now is just chuck him out of the ring, and off he goes. So once you eliminate someone, a new wrestler will take their place. I want to try and tombstone as many people as possible because I'm a sadistic bastard. There we go. But yeah, this game was great. And to be fair, this was better than the Mega Drive effort. For some reason, the controls on the Mega Drive were horrible. In fact, to be fair, the controller on the Mega Drive was just horrible. Those of you who had a Mega Drive will probably disagree with me, but having played both, the SNES had just a nicer, more robust controller, I feel. But that's my personal preference, so don't jump all over me for that. The game had different wrestlers on the Mega Drive version. I think had Papa Shango and IRS, which is weird because they should have the IRS should have been in Super WrestleMania. Tombstone for Ted DiBiase, and he's done. But there you go, Shawn Michaels there with his interestingly heartbreak gear on. So there you go. Interestingly, Shawn Michaels doesn't do the super kick in this. It's a weird sort of suplex that he does. I don't remember him ever doing a suplex, but I could be wrong. Having been a wrestling fan and watched most of these guys through my younger years, I can't remember Shawn Michaels ever doing a suplex. Weird. Never mind. There's Crush there in the orange boots, looking as garish as he did in the day. Razor Ramon as well, new addition, which is great. Lots of new guys in here. Weirdly, they took out like the Legion of Doom and stuff like that, which probably would have been better for tag teams. There's not as many tag teams in here as there used to be. I say used to be. I think there were 2 in the last game. But you can make up as many tag teams as you like here, with the absence of Hulk Hogan as well. It's like they've got rid of some icons and put in some really weird choices, like Yokozuna, for example. I suppose you could have Undertaker versus Yokozuna, though, which is quite good. You can have fantasy matches. You've got Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels as well, which is easy done. Plenty of options. And when you've got a friend round, you can tag with them. I always recommend tagging with a friend. Going against them just turns into a button mash fest, and then whoever tires out quicker is the one that ultimately loses. Excuse me. But yeah, a vast improvement over the original game. Even the theme music is a little bit better this time round. I love how the Undertaker just picked up Yokozuna for a tombstone. I mean, realistically, that ain't gonna happen. There we go, hip tossed him out. Lex Luger there with a massive head. I'm not sure what's going on with that in the white. But yeah, animations are alright actually as well. Oh, you can do these cheat moves as well. If there's no referee around, you can choke them, and there's something else you can do as well. A couple of things you can do to them. I think you can go behind them and lock them into a sleeper hold as well. So it's just me and Razor left now. There we go, I'm going to tombstone him before he goes out. But yeah, there's plenty of options in this game. There's so many more options than there was in Super WrestleMania, so I would recommend giving this a go. It's going to score slightly higher because it's a better game, all in all. And I hope you've enjoyed that review. I didn't want to bog you down with too many matches, so I've given you enough. I hope you've enjoyed it, and the next one will be WWF Raw. Let's see if they can nail it this time round. I'll see you guys in the next review. Take care, and bye-bye!